Are you struggling to find property deals right now? If so, you're not alone in 2025. But I honestly think it's not just the market. If I'm being really honest, I kind of think it's your method. And so in this video, I wanted to give you some fairly brutally honest reasons, 7 of them to be precise, as to why I think you're not finding great property deals right now in 2025. Plus, I want to give you some solid suggestions on how I honestly think you can change it, you can turn it around. Hi, my name's Tony Law, and let's kick things straight off with my first one, which I know you've heard me say before. So I don't want to be boring. The other 6 are really, really powerful, but this one has to come first, and it is not having a clear strategy. I think without a clear strategy, you're kind of searching without direction. Nothing really feels like a deal if you don't really know what a deal is. And of course, that's all geared around what is your strategy. So you've got to pick a lane. You've got to pick the right strategy for you, be it buy-to-let, BRRRR, flips, HMO, service accommodation, options, whatever it is. And to do that, you need to answer a few basic questions, don't you? Do you want cash flow today? I.e., are you wanting to get out of your day job now? Or are you wanting to build up capital wealth over a longer period of time whilst you still work? Do you have cash to actually invest in the deals? How much time can you commit? Etc., etc. There are a number of variables. And if you're really not sure which strategy is right for you, book a strategy coaching call with me. I'll put a link in the description box below. Yes, we do make a charge for it, but that call might really help you to nail down the right strategy for you. And by the way, when you know what your strategy is, go and write it down somewhere, big capital letters, so there's no misunderstanding. That's the type of deal that you're looking for. Honestly, getting clarity on your strategy as early in the game as you can means you can laser focus on what is the right deal and know that that's a good deal because you're laser focused on it. And then you get to act really, really quickly. Sorry to break into your video, but I just wanted to let you know that on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, I'm running a free webinar where I'm going to show people exactly how to replace their day job income, which is for investment properties, and without needing to put money into every deal. If that's of interest, I'll put a link in the description box below. Sorry to interrupt your video. I'll let you get back to it. My second point is only using obvious sites to actually find those deals. So you know what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about going onto Rightmove, I'm talking about going onto Zoopla, which is what everybody does, doesn't it? Every single person out there, every property investor with a toolbox, they go onto Rightmove and they order the properties in terms of the lowest first, and they're doing all those things, which can absolutely reveal opportunities. But you know what? If it's easy to find, everyone is going to be all over it. Let's be really honest. So instead, can I strongly suggest that you firstly start building really good, solid, rapport-laden connections with estate agents and letting agents. Letting agents can be great sources of deals, and I've certainly got deals from letting agents before. You've got to be really specific, though, about what you want, which is why my first point was to know exactly what strategy you're going for, because then it gives you that ability to be really specific about what you're looking for. Please start to look off market. Honestly, the best deals I've ever had never were on Rightmove or Zoopla or on the market or whatever. They were off market. So here we're obviously talking about doing some form of direct to seller marketing. And I've talked about this loads of times, and we've got other videos on our channel, but just start going to auctions. Property auctions can be a great place, by the way, to actually meet potentially amazing people where you can get great deals and even funding as well. So go there for the networking event, let alone to actually find great opportunities. I think direct mail is really, really powerful. Facebook ads, there's so much that you can do to put yourself in front of potential sellers and give you a massive advantage over every Tom, Dick and Harry with a toolbox, as I say. There's lots and lots of online tools you can use. To be honest, I'll make a mental note. I've got to do a video on them so I can give you some idea of what you can really use and what really, really works. Maybe also, though, work with a property sourcer. I do have mixed views on property sources, to be honest with you. Some of the deals that have been put in front of me from property sources, I've taken a look at and I thought to myself, that's just a load of junk. I have, however, had one or two opportunities put under my nose, and I've certainly bought some from property sources where they've been amazing. You've just got to know what is a really, really good deal and make your own judgment if you're going to work with deal sources. Anyway, I'm waffling. Point number 3 is not looking consistently. And you're kind of treating this like a bit of a hobby, if I'm being honest with you. Being consistent is so, so important. I like the phrase sporadic effort equals sporadic results. That's not to say that you need to put a full amount of time in each week. You really don't. When you're looking for or when you're working on your property business, you need to be focused on your property business. In fact, can I make a really good suggestion here? I did a great video on time management diaries. I'll put a link to it just here and also in the description box below. It's only 4 minutes long, but I know that time management diary has really helped a lot of people carve out time in their working week. So for the 4 minutes it's going to take you, please watch it. I think you'll find it really, really helpful. As I say, link in the description box below. You need to use the time that you are going to nail in place each week so that you can maybe start doing some direct-to-seller marketing. We've already talked about that. Start calling agents, maybe walking into estate agents' doors or offices as well. Start analyzing some numbers, or best of all, start walking around your investment area. I did a whole series of videos about where I used to go into a town and I literally walk around the town and I'd find opportunities. And I was always amazed at that. I've got to do more of those. I'll make another mental note. I've got to do more of those. Set yourself KPIs. Work out how many agents you need to go and see in order to get offers accepted weekly. So start to be really businesslike in your approach and track your activity to stay accountable. I honestly think you owe it to yourself to keep this momentum going. By the way, in my honest opinion, not being consistent is the number one reason that people fail. By the way, if you find this video helpful, it would just be awesome if you could click on that like button down there, if you don't mind, because it really helps our channel, if that's okay. So moving on to my fourth reason that I think people are not getting the results that they want. And it's because I think sometimes people are just too narrow or unrealistic in what they're looking for. They're kind of looking for the perfect deal that ticks every single box. Do you know the truth? I don't think the perfect deal actually exists. Not the perfect one. There's always something that doesn't kind of align perfectly. But you know what? That's okay. You just got to be a little bit flexible with maybe the area that the property is in. A little bit flexible. I know we talk about location, but goodness me, there are areas outside, just outside the perfect location, that could be an absolutely amazing deal. Be a bit flexible on the layout. Certainly be flexible on the condition. Maybe even be a bit flexible on the price. Don't forget, there's lots of ways you can negotiate a great deal if you find it in the first place. And sometimes I think we eliminate some deals because they're just not perfect from day one. Kind of remember this. Ugly homes, I think, give you far higher potential. Ugly homes give you far higher potential, in my opinion. Accept compromises if the numbers don't work exactly as they are, and maybe expand your postcode radius a little bit. Ask yourself, would I buy this if it was £10 cheaper? And if it really doesn't work for you at the price you're imagining, make a really cheeky offer, because if you're going to walk away, why wouldn't you make a really, really cheeky offer? I'm not saying you wouldn't go ahead. It's got to be the cheekiest of offers that you would do that deal if they were to accept your really, really cheeky offer. Because who knows? Maybe it's the only offer they've had in a year. And I've certainly had that. My fifth one, actually, if I'm being honest, this is actually the number one reason I think people aren't finding great deals. Yeah, this is the one. And it is this. It's so simple, not following up. But I'm going to bolt onto that, having poor relationships. But let's go with the not following up bit first of all. I think this is actually the number one reason people don't find enough deals. Do you know what? Agents deal with dozens of people every single week. You can imagine, can't you? And I'm not saying they're lazy. I'm saying they're busy, and I'm saying they've got loads of things going on in their heads, and so they kind of forget you. You're not that memorable, dare I be so bold as to say. So you need to follow up. You need to follow up. And if you kind of get a sense in yourself that, oh, for goodness sake, I shouldn't really be pushing this one here, aren't they trying to sell the property? You can have that in your head, but you still do the following up, and you're doing it in a warm, friendly, rapport building way, keeping in mind that they're dealing with loads and loads of people. If you don't follow up, I honestly think they'll forget you, and you've got to remember that 1 in 3 deals on average falls out of bed. After you've done a viewing, here's a really good tip for you. After you've done a viewing and you've maybe not connected, you've maybe had a chat to or said even a couple of words to the seller, even if the agent's standing next to you, write the seller a note. So make sure you've got their name and write the seller a note. And that night, go and put that note through their letterbox. Make it the loveliest of notes, how you really want to buy this property. And of course, if you are putting a cheeky offer in, I'd put it in that note, to be really honest with you. Sure, it might put the agent's nose a little bit out of joint, but they're not the ones that own the property. I'm not saying you're going to go around the agent. Never do that. Never do that. That agent will blacklist you and tell everybody that you've done that. So you're not going around the agent. So they still get what they want, a sale, but you want to build the connection with the seller because ultimately they'll decide who they're going to go with, won't they? So check in with the agent the next day, but put a note for the letterbox of the seller that night is my suggestion. And if you don't get a deal with, obviously through the agent, make sure that you go in and you ask them what else they've got coming in. Every day, properties are put under agents' noses. So if you don't chase up, if you don't kind of ask them, what else have you got? Do you know what? They won't kind of look at you again, will they? So always aim to build with rapport. I know I keep hammering that one. Don't just go in and ask for discounts, which is what everybody does. You're trying to build a rapport, build a connection with the agent. Buy them a coffee, take them out for a coffee. Don't do the donuts thing. I think that's yesterday's news. But if you can meet them outside the office for a coffee, that's golden. Actually, I'm going all over the place with this video. I used to have a fantastic relationship with a really great person. I'm not going to give you their name, but they were very high up in a chain of estate agents. And we used to play badminton together back in the day when I was fit. And it was amazing. We didn't talk about property, but this is like one of the main people in this estate agency. And it's a really lovely guy. But I kind of thought that was a really great way or a great example of how you can kind of build connections and genuine friendships with people outside of the office. Remember, people give deals to those people they trust. Agents give deals, and dare I say it, sellers give their properties to people that they trust. So, moving on to the sixth one in this very long video, for which I apologize. My sixth one is this. Being too slow running the numbers. If it takes you days to analyze a deal, you're too slow. Somebody else, if it's a great deal, somebody else is going to jump in and grab it. Use a spreadsheet with ROI and yield formulas on it. And if you want a great video on how to calculate ROI and yield, click on the link here. I've got a video there. Will tell you exactly how to do it. Bung those numbers onto your spreadsheet and get clear on your other criteria as well, so that you can basically tell almost instantly that this is a deal worth doing. Back in the day, we used to say, back of a fag packet calculations. I know no one smokes anymore, quite rightly so, but that's a great way of thinking about it. You should, on the back of a fag packet, be able to quickly jot down your numbers and know if that deal stacks up. You should almost be able to do it in your head. I certainly can. It's not difficult, but you should know if it's going to give you the level of return on investment that you're after. So know your max offer before you even go to the viewing. And remember that speed gives you the edge, especially in a hot market. Don't wait for the answers to all of your questions to come in before making an offer. And if you're really worried about it, you can make a conditional offer. So you can say, I'm going to go ahead with it, subject to this thing coming in, for example, planning or a survey or some clarification on a legal point. I'm going to go ahead. I'd like to make an offer subject to X. Whereas most people will wait for that information to come in, won't they? And they will miss out if you're doing it in this way. My seventh one, and we're nearly at the end of this. I don't want to say this is the most important one, but it's right up there. My seventh one is fear or perfectionism holding you back. Most people overthink property investing. I really think they do. They kind of overthink and they under offer. And by under offer, I mean they don't put in enough offers. You just got to accept it. Every deal that you're going to look at has got some risk. That's the nature of property investing. But do you know what? Perfectionism leads to paralysis. I have got a fantastic friend. I'm not going to mention any names, but I've got a fantastic friend who often tells the story about how he would really, really analyze the deal to the nth degree, and to a large extent, because of the level of work that he'd put into it, it would actually mean that it would almost paralyze him with fear. I don't like using the word fear because he's like one of the best mates I've got. But it really was a stumbling block for him. And I think that level of fear or striving for level of the perfect deal, it just stops you in your tracks, frankly. Focus on it's safe enough. The deal is safe enough. It's not perfect. I think the key with this aspect is to take action, learn, and then repeat. Because this is not going to be the one and only deal you do, is it? Hopefully you're going to do loads of deals. And with each passing deal, you will learn so much. So get the first one as good as you can get it. Yes, it's not going to be perfect. Just accept that. Do it. Then get that second one in the bag and the third one in the bag. And honestly, you'll be amazed at just how quickly your experience and knowledge will grow. Anyway, I've made this video too long as it is. I really hope that you find this helpful. In my opinion, the deals are out there. They are rare. Yes, I get that. Those perfect deals are rare. But you can absolutely find them. You just need to form better habits. So can I suggest you fix? That's implying that there's something wrong. I think there might be, but just aim on focusing on one of the 7 points that I put into this video and fix that point if you accept what I've said. And you know what? If you do that, I would love to hear about which one you're going to fix in the comments box below. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe it so I know that this one worked for you and you don't miss out on any future videos that are going to be coming your way. And please drop me a comment to let me know what's kind of blocking you, what's stopping you from moving forwards. And who knows, I might make a video about it, and if you'll allow me, maybe even name you in that video if you were okay with that. Anyway, I really hope you found this video helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.